An object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Newton's first law. Now, I took physics in high school. I took physics in college. I cannot say that it was a subject that I excelled at. And like most of us, the things that we struggle with are not always our favorite. So, physics to me is not a place that I really think about hanging out. So, imagine my surprise when I was working on some content I'm working on around momentum and the link between momentum and creativity, imagination, and productivity. They do all link together. And I came across the fact that momentum is Newton's first law. If we are in motion, we will tend to stay in motion in the same direction that we are traveling. And once we get in that motion and we're staying in that motion of traveling, it generally feels like it becomes easier. Now, if you have ever been around a merry-go-round, I don't think they're very common anymore. When you first start pushing a merry-go-round, it takes a lot of effort to get it going. And then you get to a point that keeping that merry-go-round moving in a circle is really easy. That's an example of momentum and Newton's first law. So how does all of those things that I listed, productivity and creativity and imagination, how does that all link to creating momentum? Which is those moments when what we're doing suddenly feels so much easier and we're making progress. Well, honestly, I will have to say it's not as complicated as I, at least personally, found physics. And I'll be talking more about this. Like I said, I've got some things coming out on it. Let me leave you with this thought today. One of them is that our habits, our systems are designed to maintain the system or the habit. So where the creativity and imagination and everything else comes in is we first need to have an idea of what do we want momentum for? What are we trying to accomplish? Where are we trying to go? We can get momentum in all kinds of ways. We can gain momentum in gaining weight. We can get into momentum in our finances, which can be to the positive or it can be to the negative. So momentum can work for us and momentum can work honestly against us and where we want to go. So one of the first things is the link when we're starting to talk about momentum is we need to first understand what it is that we want. What do we want momentum in? What are we looking for? Because like I said, our habits are designed to protect those habits. Hence the momentum. When we are moving forward in a direction, it is easy to keep moving in that same direction. So the question is, are we moving in the direction that we want to go? So that's the first thing. Actually, that's what I'm going to leave you with today. We're going to be talking about momentum and what does it take to get momentum. And yet before we even begin that topic, we need to check in to be clear on what do we want momentum to? What do we want momentum for? Where do we want to go? And yes, this sounds amazingly like a long-term goal. Yes, and yet it can be an answer as simple as what do we really want by the end of the quarter? You get the idea. So momentum, we're going to be talking more about momentum and some of the components that go into it. And like I said, it's not as complicated as I personally found physics. So stay tuned for more. Bye for now.